All right, let's see. Let me go ahead and figure out. I gotta post the video somewhere. Okay, people are starting to come in. Let me go ahead and get some stuff up for you guys. All right. What's up, Nitro? How's it going? All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let me pull up some charts and get things rolling. We'll wait till a couple more people get in here, but still got the cough. Hoping that goes away. Maybe some of this scotch will help. Alright, let's go ahead, get all this down. Let's also get up. Probably have to edit out a bunch of stuff, but okay, let's go on. Let me get to the live stream chat and start talking to some of you guys. How's it going, Eartham? Overmind? Good afternoon. It's evening where I'm at, but good afternoon to you. What a ride today, yeah. Yeah, it was a good day. I was at work, so I wasn't able to. Yeah, I still got the cough, man. Brown water always helps. Yep, I got my scotch for tonight, so. There we go. Helps the throat. Big victory today. Yeah, I mean, it went better than I thought it was going to be honest. I thought we were going to really fight for like $5, and we actually fought for $5.50, so that was pretty bullish. What are we expecting for price next week? I mean, all is going to depend, and we'll kind of go over some numbers and we'll have to kind of figure out. But yeah, there's 2.75 million shares by Wednesday. We can add them up. Let's do it all together. We can do it as a group. Okay, what's going on here? Excuse me. How do we do today? Yeah, we think we did fine. I mean, we zoom in, we came up. We didn't obviously break through and head even higher, but at the same time, we knew today was going to be a battle. What I mean by that is, hold on a second. A very important level for the shorts was, and even market makers, was this $5 level right here. This is where they needed the stock. And they let it run in the morning, and then they shorted it back down, and then they really wanted these last two, these 3-hour bars to just get down here, and they were going to really try to break through that $5 mark, and didn't happen. The bulls just kept eating up their candles, and, I mean, if we go back on the shorter time frame, excuse me. This was probably just profit takers. We had it straight up in the morning, so This is probably some day traders that were like, okay, we know this thing's kind of volatile. Let's go ahead and take some profits. Or it could have even just been shorts allowing the bulls to waste some ammo, and they were going to attack in the evening. Because really, what the most important thing is, the most important thing for everybody was this $5 mark. Right down. I have to zoom out even more. Right down here. And they didn't get it. The lowest they got was at 523. That was their low of the day. They needed to get it under 5, and that was very important to everybody, and they didn't get it. So that's pretty bullish. Let's see. When do they need to come up with those shares? So usually options are T+2. So sell ATER, it will never squeeze. Oh, thanks, Cup O Joe, or Old Cup A Joe. Look, they've got shills out already on my YouTube channel. That's awesome. I've never had a show before. Please give us the DD that you have to say that it will never squeeze, because it looks pretty much like, it's doing pretty good here. And the fact that you guys did, obviously you're working for a short or something like that, but let me go ahead and probably need to get some mods at some point. I never had I never had anyone like that. That's awesome. Do I know Super Snock? Yeah, I mean, I'm a GME guy. Like initially, that's how when fundamentally, like I do fundamentals mainly, and GME was my first time really playing with like a squeeze stock, and I only kind of stumbled. Like Wall Street Bets to me was like where I went to laugh at like people just gambling with their money, because that wasn't how I invested. That just was out of this world. And so I saw somebody investing in GameStop, and I'm like, that guy's an idiot. And then the price kept going up, and he posted that I think around like the $5 range maybe. But what ended up happening was they I think I hear my daughter upstairs, and I'm the only one in the house. Hold on a second. But yeah, anyway, I was going to say, I mean, I bought in the teens, and then I went from there, and I went very heavy and made some money, and I had a lot of call options, and at one point it was a ridiculous amount of money up. I didn't profit take like I probably should have, but I still own shares of GameStop, and so yeah, I know Super Snock real well, and I've ridden some DD and other things there, and I may now have bots and shills. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I've never had a bot or a shill. I've never had anyone even pay attention to my stuff really before, and I was just posting in Aterian, and nobody was really paying attention to me, and I posted a couple things in Short Squeeze, and then got a little more attention. Let's see. Let me go back to these nets and just kind of go over how many people. Once we get like at least I think 50 or 60 people in here, I'll kind of kick it off and we'll go from there. But I'll just kind of read through what you guys are saying. What does it mean Wednesday will spike to the moon? Yeah, I mean, so if options are due T+2, so you count out the days, it's today +2. So that would be Monday, then Tuesday, then it might be like Wednesday. It could happen Tuesday or Wednesday, because they have to do it by basically like probably like Wednesday. So sometime before, like Wednesday or before, it will be some buying pressure. That will be nice. And my guess is it'll probably continue this, upward trajectory. And that's when it gets dangerous for them, because, if you look at the average position that the short took out, some of them are, in the tens, but at the, some of them are lower than that. And they're going to be underwater on some of these, pretty soon. And if the buying pressure keeps going, and if the weekends are dangerous for them, because word spreads over the weekend. That first day we had, the big day with all that volume, That came right after our weekend. That was a Monday, and all of a sudden we had gone from like 3 million. How many? I think it was like a 3 million volume day to like a 140 or 100. I think it was a 145 day volume day, million volume day. I mean, that's crazy, going from 3 million to 145 million volume. So let's see, quality content. Thanks for what you do. You're much appreciated. Thank you, Dustin. Cup O Shill, yeah. So yeah, I am in GME. I've been in GME for a long time, and I have some AMC also. I have a lot of like the meme tickers. I mean, I usually try to look for like low entries on them just in case they kind of go up. And there's ones I have obviously more heady in than others. And so, why was the $5 mark important? Okay, John. So let me pull up some options chains because I'm gonna need them for tonight, and we'll kind of cover them and just show you what happened. Now, would I love to have finished in 6? Yeah, of course. But, we finished in a very good place. So I'm not, not upset about that. Like, yeah, let me see right here. I'm going to pull up options chains. All right, here we go. So we had 0 day. I should be able to pull up this and snapshot it because I want to pull up the account numbers. But I'll show you where we finished today and where we're going to finish, probably, or at least where things are for next week. Because they rolled some options, it looks like. I think DZ was going over some of them. And we can probably, DZ and I are supposed to do maybe a collaboration video at some point. Where is my paint? Because I'm old school and I use, like, MS Paint. So, let's go over. It's also because I don't know how to use any other tools except for like the ones I've been using, and I haven't really tried to learn anything new. But I'm going to have to apparently because I don't know how to work OBS or any of these things, and I'm going to have to get better with all this stuff at some point because I guess if I'm going to do YouTube every once in a while, I'm going to have to learn some of this stuff. All right, so I'm going to highlight the stuff in yellow as in the money, and I'm going to highlight the stuff that's red as burned, because that's how I like to do it visually. And then let me pull up yellow. Okay, so we should be good there. And then we put up the red real quick. So, as I pull this over, hopefully you guys will be able to see, because I have to figure out if I messed up the... Oops, let me drag that down a little bit. And I know you can't see any of this, but you'll be able to see in a second. Alright, here we go. I'm going to save it as Aterian 4... What's it? 14, right? Is it? Yeah, it's the 14th, right? Yeah, Opex. Okay. And we'll say options. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over so you guys can see it, and hopefully, if I zoom in over here, zoom out a little bit. Okay. Can you guys see that? I'll have to scroll down. Oh, you get. Oh, there's a lot more people here. Okay. Wow, look at all this stuff. I'm getting all these shills. Wow, this is kind of nuts. I've never had a shill before, and and I love they use the GME green eyeballs, like they're trying to fool someone like, this is cool. Who knew? Who knew anyone would even pay attention to little old me, let alone actually watch my video and then try to spread FUD. That's pretty funny. Let me go ahead and... I probably need to get some mods in here. Who wants to be a mod? this. There's like literally like, wow. There's a lot of shills on this. Guys, this is nuts. The fact that we actually have like bots and shills, like we're getting big time. Because like I want to leave it up. I don't want to like block the shills. I want to leave them up. That's awesome. I haven't seen like shills on Aterian since like I haven't seen ever I've never seen shills on Aterian ever. I have also ATER is a distraction. It's not going anywhere. I sold everything. Look at this. This is amazing. Guys, we are a danger and we are a threat. We are a threat to these guys because look, they are sending out bots and shills. That means we're actually doing something right. Because they hire these guys when they need to have something go down. And this happened with GameStop and this happened with AMC when they was squeezing. You should invest in Hood. Green eyes. You should invest in Hood. It's a real squeeze play. Holy crap. I have bots. Wow. Wow, this is so cool. You have all the bad stocks, my friend. They're all going to a penny. This is my favorite stream ever. This is awesome. Guys, it's like every other post is like, this will never happen. It's going to a penny. Oh my God. So that's how we know this is amazing because we have bots and shills everywhere. This is awesome. We made it. Congrats. We're gonna make a lot of money. That's all I know now. Show us Hood's number. No, I'm not even gonna dignify it with a. All right, I'm gonna continue on. I probably should get some mods in here. So let me figure out how to do this. Yeah, like this is crazy. Yeah, we're gonna be really, really rich if we're getting bots. Like Aterian is a small company. Like it's not like a large market cap, and it is not something that like most people pay attention to. Like seriously, and they have green eyes to try to make it blend in, which is even better. So this is amazing. Holy crap! I've never had a bot before. Sold all my ATER at 650. It was the highest it will go. This is awesome. Melvin Capital just joined the chat. This is so good. All right. Yeah, I'm on live. Let me go ahead and post this. This is kind of crazy. So I'm just going to post the YouTube in the chat and the Discord so everyone can get in here if they want to. But this is so cool. All right, hold on. We'll do a at everyone. Getting a ton of bots and shills on the live stream. Bullish. Here we go. I'm gonna send this out to everybody. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think we should leave them. Do they give me more like credibility? Ron, I sold my ATER today too. Why be greedy? Wow. Yeah, I think this might change a lot of people's lives because if you realize this, like, they don't do bots for everybody. Like, most of the time, I rarely see bots anymore. Like, when GameStop was going off, they hired a bunch, like, to be on both sides, put up tons of articles, all this stuff. You know, like, oh, I lost all my money in GameStop, like, blah, blah. Like, it was everywhere. But, whew, all right. So what we'll do is this. I'll get back into this, but I just wanted to make sure we can get some more people in here, and then we'll kind of go over some of the option stuff, and I'm just gonna have to figure out like. This is so fun. Okay. So we were going to go over the calls. I'm not going to be able to keep up with the chat, so I'm going to get really far behind. I already know that, and especially because we're getting spammed by bots. But let's see. I'm going to go bring up my calculator real quick, and we'll kind of start going over. All right. So let's do this. We'll take 31, and this is going to be like a rough number because we don't know for a fact that all of these were exercised. We don't know that, what's that, 96. And we'll take like a percentage off of this because that, you can't do stuff with the exact numbers because that's not going to work. I just want to see how many expired in the money. Okay. So, and this is not including bullish puts, and let's do this. Let's take 80% of that number. So let's do that times 100. So about 4.7 potentially million shares finished in the money. Now, not everyone's going to exercise those. And some of them could have been, calls that were, bearish. But at the same time, what's going to be interesting is let's even be conservative. Let's take half of that. You're looking at least probably 2.4 million shares that might come due, and that's not including how many bullish puts that were sold. But you can tell. So what they were trying to do was they were basically trying to have a gamma ramp down on the put side. They added a lot of these $5 puts that got burned, and they were trying to push it down by adding all these. And remember, you always remember this. These are more expensive. Puts are more expensive than calls usually. So they spent a good chunk of money to try to push it down under 6, and they were trying to push it under 5, and they were trying to ramp it down. They basically added 23,000 contracts at $5 that they were going to try to basically it's like a reverse gamma ramp, or it is a gamma ramp, but it's like in reverse. So they were trying to push it down underneath 5, and they just couldn't get it. So all of these finished in the money, and then all of these reds got burned. So they spent a good chunk of money just trying to get it underneath 5, and they failed miserably. Now, these got burned, but these were pretty cheap. So all of this stuff will end up in the money, and it's at least probably between the bullish puts and the bullish calls, I would say it's probably 2.5 maybe, or 2.6 million. So, yeah, I was going to say, so I'm a big super stock guy also myself, and ATER has a very similar setup. So I just wanted to see this. I graduated college. I am a very smart person. The play is over. Tell them the play is over. Oh, God. This is amazing. This is why it's called Dumb Money Smart Ass. Jesus, yeah, it shows as a really good sign. This is amazing. Talking about Hood. The shows are pointing out stocks that we should not buy, like Hood. Well, most of the time they're trying to pump Hood because their bosses own Hood, so yeah. Oh, Anon, The play. There are tons of, yeah, we're witnessing history because nobody cared about my YouTube streams like a day ago. Like literally 1 day ago, they didn't care about my YouTube stream. Nobody was on here. There was no shills or no bots. And look at this now. What's up, Fun Size? The shills are crazy. And the green eyes, they're trying to blend in like they're one of us. Yeah. They all have the same eyes too. They're not even like trying. They're like generic like people that they just shot like green laser eyes on that look like they're not real investors. Buying hood on Monday. If anyone here watches the stream and I mean reads through these comments, this is amazing. So who wants a timeout? Please be respectful. I could read you. Wait, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Your voice is super relaxing. I could listen to you read off shampoo ingredients. Thank you. Okay. This is really, really good. I like the fact that we have these bots. It's fun. It's hard to keep up with the real questions though. So give me a second. Let me try to go back and find what's going on here. All right. So yeah, I'm looking at maybe like 2.5 million maybe that are going to be due by probably Wednesday of next week. That's a lot of shares that they don't have. Like guys, that's a lot of shares. Like I just want to show you this. And I think you guys read the DD. Like we've got like 26 million free float, right? We've got 26 million free float. We've had utilization locked at 100% since March 8th. Yeah, March 8th. Okay, let me do this. Let me pull up the Fintel numbers. Okay. So, let's go under short interest real quick. Guys, all right, so we're still number one on the squeeze store. I'm guessing they're probably not going to have the gamma one because in this case, they don't have any, they've got no shares like they never do. It's fine. I think they ran out at like noon. They basically couldn't find shares, so they had to buy all these puts to try to push down the price. Cost of borrow is still like 109%, and they were not as they didn't use as much short exempt, maybe because we gave them such crap yesterday, and they're like we can't abuse this too badly, but they were definitely keeping us down yesterday. 1.2 is not a normal number, especially on like if you look at like the volume. We had, where is it? Yeah, like, I think I saw, yeah, so here's the aggregate volumes right here. But like, they're using up a lot of ammo every single day, and every single, yeah, do people want to moderate now? I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys tell me, do you want to keep the shows or do you want to let them... Should we keep the shows? You tell me. I'm going to go down here. Diane is hot, hot, hot. Diane's one of the shows if you're just listening and not watching the video. Diane needs green eyes. Oh, ATER stock is not a good stock. Take it from me. I am very intelligent. I'm buying hood on Monday. Oh my God. Still in Devil Dog. Hoorah. All right. Let's see what we got here. What worries me, you're pushing ATER to uneducated investors. I'm pretty sure these guys are pretty educated. They've been asking some really good questions, and they think they understand how this all works. So thank you. Wow. I'm pissing off a lot of white collar criminals. Way to go. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of subscribers. I'm not monetized by YouTube. You need at least 1,000 subscribers for that. So if you are able to subscribe, that'd be great. But this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna be fighting shills all day long. I sold my ATER ATER today. Thank God it will never squeeze. This is so cool. Like, when did we get shills? Like, just today. That means they're in trouble. They are in trouble, man. Shills. I just took a sip of my scotch, and this is for you guys. Oh boy, oh boy. Tell your bosses they're in trouble. Yeah, this is just the beginning. Imagine if I actually, like, had a large following. Amazing. How can they find this stream? I honestly, I guess they must have gone through Reddit, and then it's linked there, so they must have, like, or they're probably part of the Discord too, is my guess. But yeah, so this is really interesting that we actually have, like, bots and shills, because that means they're in trouble. We didn't have this all last week. We didn't have any of this stuff, but now that means that they're trying hard to pump this the other way. They're going, you need to ignore ATER. Yeah, okay. Like, RDD, is pretty spot on then. That's what it tells me, because I am now a threat to them. Yeah. So, all right, so just go back to this. I just want to show you guys. So, it would have been great to finish over here, yeah, because that's a ton more shares. That would have been a huge amount of shares. Even, anything up here. And that could have gamma ramped us. They basically had to keep us down, and they spent money to do it. I mean, look at this. Like, do the math on that. What's the average on that? If we did, let's pull up the calculator again. So they had to spend, let's just say 50 cents times 14,456. They had to spend about $7.2 million to push the stock down today. And that wasn't including the day before. So that's close to like $10 million they had to spend to push down the stock today. Just to keep it from running over 6. Like, wow. Hello, I have anxiety. Now I'm having trouble. All right, we have to get rid of the bots, because I can't tell who's actually a real person and who's not right now. Yeah, screenshot this and add it to Reddit. We'll let it go for a little bit longer so you guys can see all the different, like, bots and shills. That's just going to make us even more bullish. So thank you very much, you bots and shills. This is going to be awesome. That's how we know we made it. Yeah. How's Billy's astrology class going? All right, so I just wanted to point out, yeah, so they had to spend basically, like, maybe even more, like 20, maybe, I'm just looking at this option. Yeah, so they bought some here, and they probably bought some. Let me pull up the actual option chains further down to see what other out of the money, further away expiries, but in the deep in the money puts they ended up having to spend. Here we go. Yeah, is it 10:30 at night? Is that about right? Yeah, that's 10 o'clock. Wait, that's Wednesday. Here we go, Thursday. So I've got it up now. So let's look at the next couple of weeks and see what they had to spend to push this down, because they didn't want to do it too much, because if they do it too much, they would have to basically, if this runs, they're going to get all that money burned. So they have been basically using, it looks like, some 750 puts. It looks like 1250 puts they were using the other day to push it down. And do they have any other ones that are large purchase? No, I don't see anything else that's that far out. Some 750 August puts to try to... Those could just be like people hedging for the, if they think it's going to downswing. But the biggest position they took out was this one right here just to try to get this there. And they bought these to basically try to like ramp it down. So you guys go get all your bots and your shills and get your screenshots. And then what we'll do is I'll shut off that so we can actually like answer questions, and I can clean up the chat a little bit because it's getting a little hard to actually tell who's like real and who's not, and who's actually got legitimate questions and who's just like, you know. All right. So everyone, can you scroll back? Can you do your like screenshots and all this stuff? Boring. Let's talk about Hood. Yes, please. Let's talk about Hood. The same bots that blocked you keep deleting their comments once we roast them. Oh, they keep deleting their Oh, so we're able to at least screenshot them. All right, so everyone that's in here, if you can screenshot these things as they're going, because they're going back and they're deleting them afterwards. But we have an army. Yeah, this is good. I better not get banned. No. If you're a real person, that's fine. But yeah, if you can screenshot every time a bot puts something up, that'd be great. Because then we're going to add them all up and we're going to post that to Reddit. All right, so going forward, let's gather our evidence about the shills, because this is pretty awesome. All right. I wonder, and they always have green eyes, or some of them now are not having green eyes because I think we called them out. Yeah. All right, so are they done? Belly, come back. Yeah, we need to get some screenshots. You're shilling. Come on. This is great. If you get banned, Rumble or locals, yeah. Came on the horse is hot. Oh, we missed the green-eyed ones. We can't go back and look at them. Super sad. Hold on. No, someone got a picture of Jolette Bush. Never even heard of a person named. I take it from me, I'm very intelligent. ATER is done by Hood. Let me see if I can pull up that real quick. I just want to make sure. I'm going to screenshot a couple just because I think I can actually do it. I might have the ability to see things that you guys can't, so give me a second. Where's my paint? Sorry, I'm like thoroughly amused by this. I've never had any bots or shills ever, so this is kind of a big deal for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very new to YouTube, so I'm not used to this kind of attention. Usually just post on Reddit and I get a couple hundred likes, and that's about it. So this is fun. Here, you guys can see this. Sell ATER, it will never squeeze. Selling my ATER next week. It's not going to squeeze. The play is over. Neil, ATER, AMC, GameStop, all dead cats, guys. Move and sell on. Or, sell and move on. This is awesome. I don't know how to put this, but kind of a big deal. Many leather-bound books. My apartment smells of rich mahogany. All right, so let me do this. I think, do we have enough of these? Let's see. Yeah, let's go. Let me just tell fun. I'm going to tell we have one moderator. It's F Fun Size. If anyone else wants to be a mod and is on the YouTube often, I'm happy to have a couple more mods. So let me just write him real quick and say, if we can screenshot them first and save them, then just delete and block. All right. Thanks, Fun. All right. Let me get back to this, and then I'm going to try to answer all your questions, because I know this has just been like a constant. It's hard for me to keep up with like how fast this is going. So I'm just going to go start at the top where I'm missing stuff, because it's just now I've filled up the entire chat, and it keeps just moving up, so I can't even see it. The stream got advertised on Reddit? No, I don't think I posted anything on Reddit. Yeah, I just posted in the Discord, so I don't think anyone, unless somebody wrote it on Reddit, but not like we're going to get margin called Citadel, but it's fun. Yeah, I mean, well, we don't know exactly who's got all this, so this gives me AMC vibes. Yeah, I mean, this is what it felt like with GameStop and AMC when they were running up. These bots came out of nowhere with green eyes saying that they lost their life savings and all this stuff. And once it blows up, you'll blow up. I mean, I'm not really looking to blow up. I just want to, if I could sit here and just stream with you guys and talk to you guys and kind of help people understand what I'm seeing, and that'd be great. Scotch of choice. I need recommendations. One of the squeezes. I actually make my own, which is fun and interesting. I take a kind of like a medium, like blend. I think it's called like Shalig, and then I actually age it in my own barrel. So I have a like tiny barrel that I age it in, and it because it's small, it covers more surface area, so it actually speeds up the process. So and then I transfer it to these bottles. So they think your credibility for real. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Smash a like, thank you. You are over the target. I don't know if that means maybe that's a bot or shell. We may have shook some trees. Yeah, I think we may have shook some trees here, because I think, what if Anon disappears? Well, that's not good. I want to disappear. Like, if someone shows up to my house, and they're going to be finding out that I am a Marine and I do carry a lot of weapons, so I will protect my family. Let's see. ATER's not a good play. Okay, so there's still bots and shells, so I guess we're cleaning it up. Hello, I have anxiety. Okay, well, you should not have anxiety if you're, let's do this, because I know some people are nervous about stuff. So let's be sensitive to some people. Maybe they are a real person. So we haven't had a red day. I'm just throwing this out there. It's been what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight green days. Is that right? Yeah. I wouldn't have anxiety about that. We are heading straight up right now. So, people are getting on the shills. What will 2.5 will gamma ramp? It depends on how they fill up next week. So the options chain is very important to this, because we are both in a short squeeze and a gamma squeeze, and both of them together are what happened with GameStop. And you don't see these setups very often. In fact, I've been doing this for a while, and I've seen very few that one of them, usually we'll have like a gamma squeeze and it'll go. And then sometimes you'll have a short squeeze, and then it never turns into like when you have both, that's when it gets dangerous. And that's probably why we have bots and chills, because like people stand to lose a lot of money. I mean, I just want you guys to realize this. There's going to be some shorts that are going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more than that. We don't know how much they could lose, but like there's a lot of money on this, and there's both sides. So like I'm just pointing out to you, like people are now throwing around tens of millions of dollars on a small cap stock that really should not be getting this much attention. But shorts tried to bury the stock, and I won't for legal reasons. Now that we've got bots and everything, I can't speculate what's going on, but I can tell you that things are off. And the fact that it's now we're getting bots on this is crazy. So, okay. Hopefully everyone's taking screenshots, because this is fun. Nobody's in trouble. It's not even that shorted. It's like 42% shorted, and 70% of the entire float's out on loan. And at this point, they have sold millions more shares than actually exist. And I showed you guys, I think, on that DD, the daily volume has been like 300 and something million on a 25 million float, or free float stock. Like, that's crazy. Thanks for spending time away from your family to give us this info. Yeah, of course. I was going to say, at this point right now, I put my kids to bed, and so I came down to talk to you guys. I guess Thinkorswim reported 650 put sweep near the bid, 201 at 143 versus a 73 OI. It disappeared. I couldn't read it fast enough, and it disappeared. Sorry. I don't know what it said, but now we're getting more and more. I am a very intelligent person. I went to college. ATER is the way. Hood is useless. Boring. Let's talk about Hood. Let's see. This guy's voice is helping my anxiety. Thanks, Spike Man. Let's see. They're deleting the comments, and we are winning. Yeah, I mean, so that's really, really interesting. They don't want to help the engagement algo. Is that what they're doing? Okay. And he's a Marine. Yep, I am. If they have to say I'm really intelligent, you probably aren't. That's probably very true. If his voice helps anxiety, read his DDs. You guys are funny. That's what another one said. Kim on the horse is hot. All right, so we got another Marine in here. Ura. He's at 0331, which is the machine gunner, tow gunners. Let's see. We got market maker propaganda equals bullish. Yep, true. If I push them trash, will they come back? Tell them to buy Hood stock, right? Don't think they're bots. Nobody likes the stock. Can't you tell? Jennifer Quintiliopius. Yeah, because you're definitely a real person, Jennifer. Oh my God. Yeah, the green eyes disappeared after we called it out. Yeah, if you want to talk, let's talk about Hood. Okay. You want to talk about Hood? Should I do some live DD? No, I'm not going to do it. We're going to do it Aterian right now. But if you'd like Jennifer, bot Jennifer, I would love to do some DD to tear apart Hood, because those guys are going to go out of business very, very soon. They lost the trust of retail, and because of that, oh yeah, we only trust green eyes. So if you bots don't bring back the green eyes, then we're not going to listen to you. I'm sorry. If you bring back the green eyes, then I'll probably have more credibility, and then maybe let's see. Hey Anon, thanks for all you do. How's that going to help the gamma ramp? So obviously, whenever you have to buy shares on the market, it's going to move up the price. And if you look right here, if you look at the days that we had significant volume, within like 3 days or 4 days afterwards, you usually have a large spike in the price, because there's actually buying pressure happening. Same thing here. We had a decent day there, another day 3 days later. And now some of these are starting to stack on top of each other. And it's like a loop it's like a self-feeding loop. So that's kind of how it goes. Can you discuss my question on the Discord? I don't know. Did you send me something? Let me see. The Discords move very fast. I don't know. Can you rewrite it and send it again? Because I'm finally caught up. It even disappeared. I don't even know who that was. Let's see. Oh yeah, bots mean that they're in trouble. Yep. Ralph seems legit. ATER to the moon. Keep this for the DD. It's an army of green eyes. Bots have the weirdest names. That's true. Keep the green eyes coming. This might be my new favorite stock, YouTube. Not gonna lie. Ralph with the green eyes responded to me. The ATER army. Green eyes equals screen days. Looks like Samantha is going to be able to divorce his wife after all these gains. I hope you're joking, man. Let's go, Anon. Thank you. It's crazy how they assume retail is uneducated, that they don't even know that these are bots. Yeah, and I love scotch. Scotch in my belly. Very nice. All right. How do I donate to you, Father Anon? I do have a Patreon. We just set it up, I think, like a week ago. I've never done it before, but the only reason I was even going to do it was because a lot of people said they wanted me to stream throughout the day and kind of teach people like fundamentals and like how to, how I trade stocks and stuff like that. So I said, listen, I can't do that. I have a real job. And they were kind of like, hey, if we pay for your, switch over, would you do it? And I'm like, well, I talked to my wife and she's like, if you don't lose any money, then you can do it. And I was like, all right. And I enjoyed doing it. So far, I think we only have like 50 people. So I don't think it's, that big of a deal. But if we do eventually get to that number, then I'd be happy to, switch over careers and maybe I'll just do this for you guys. And I think I can type it in here and post it. So if anyone wants the link, there it is. I don't know how far back I am now. Let's see. Okay, so I think I'm caught up now. So GME DFE 2.0. Thank you. I don't think I am anywhere. That guy was way smarter than me. He actually was a financial person. So make me a mod. Okay, how do I do that? Maybe I have to do it on the actual YouTube thing because all I'm seeing is when I. Where's 301? 301, if you're listening, can you write me on the YouTube? Because I think I can click on you and add you. Because I think. Oh, it's. Yeah, here. I'll make you a mod too. Here, you can be a mod. And 301, if you want to be a mod too, that's fine. Does anyone hang out in here? During the day? I most people are in the Discord, so I never 309, have you oh, I'm still far back. But yeah, if 309, just type something so I can make you a mod if you want to be a mod. Can Ralph be a mod? Is Ralph the mod? Oh, now they're actually listening to me. I just assumed they were I just assumed these bots were from India and actually but they're actually listening to what I'm saying because they're actually changing what they're doing. Can we talk about something other than ATER and your conspiracy theories that hedge funds send bots? Of course they send bots. You are a bot. Okay, we've got some people that want a mod. All right. All right, so 309, we'll get him in here. He'll be a mod. Hey, dude. Yeah, I think I've seen you in here a lot. You can be a mod too. John Wynn. I haven't seen you on here, but that doesn't mean if I see you around a lot, I'll make you mod too. I think we have enough now. All right, so do we have enough mods now that we can remove some of the stuff? Screenshot if you can, but I just wanted to. Hold on. What Rudd Win? He said he's a fellow Marine. I'll make you a mod too if you're a Marine. Let's see. What Rudd Win for? Can you write me right now so I can add you? Actually, John Wynn, I'm gonna take a flyer on you. I'll just make you a mod and hopefully that's fine. Very intelligent. Don't remove me. I'll be pissed if I'm not a mod. Been here since day one. You're a mod now. Congrats. Okay, that's probably enough mods for right now. So let me get back to the Aterian stuff, and let me try to catch up to where we're going, because obviously now we're starting to get behind. And okay, so a lot of chat with the mods or the bots. Milk was a bad choice. Milk was a bad choice. Let's see. Do you know why you can't post on Short Squeeze? So, from what I understand, there was, at least this is what I think what's the guy's name? I think it was I am Frank Gibiani or whatever. He's told me that there was a rogue mod that they didn't realize was in there, and he had apparently removed some of my posts. And then I don't know if they may have blocked me, because I tried posting around noon or 1, and I wanted that DD to be up, and it didn't come out until 3 o'clock. So I really wanted to get it out earlier on Short Squeeze, but it wouldn't get posted, because they literally, when I went to go post it, I screenshotted it inside the Discord. They removed the post button, and they wouldn't let me select DD on it. So I don't know if I was banned or what happened there, but yeah. Use a VPN. Today was technically red. Yeah, it was. Today was technically red. But I was gonna say let me pull up an actual sorry. I think Thinkorswim is better as far as the candle finished technically green, but it was red day. So we're still moving up. I don't know. Is that because let's take a look at this. Yeah, I mean we're clearly moving up. This is not a great angle to see things, but we're moving up, and they're going to start having to move this ADL up again, because we're going to be these things have spiked, right? And they really try to push down the price here, but we're going to just be pinned at this for a long time, is my guess, because once this starts going, if they're sending bots after us, whew, I mean, that's a bullish chart right there. That's not this is danger zone, because you can see they had to push it down. They had to push it down, and then next week is going to be really, really interesting for them. So, best bang for your entry-level scotch, McKellen. Yeah, McKellen 12 is good. And on how'd you get into trading after marine life? I'm also hoping, how long have you been doing this? So, just so you guys know, when I was in the Marines, it was during OAF 1 and 3, and so when I got out, it was in the kind of the recession had just kind of I was entering the workforce during a recession, and I worked for a large company for a little bit. They were a Fortune 100 company, and I was doing I won't get into what I was doing, but I worked for a big company, and then I wanted to use my GI Bill, and so I used the GI Bill to go back to school for business, and then during business school I had to take accounting classes, and some of the stuff was talking about corporate finance and stuff like that, so I got interested in it, and I started looking into the stock market more. I'd always learned from my grandfather, but it was mainly fundamental stuff, this is how you read a balance sheet, this is how he used to do that stuff with us, just to try to teach us things. It wasn't super in depth, but I've been around the block, and I've been trading when I was, he would be like, what do you want to buy? And I would tell him, and he'd be like, this is why this is not a good stock. And then he'd have me buy a much safer dividend stock. Some of my picks were good back then even, but anyway, that's how I got my start. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, I really got interested, and I started watching tickers every day, and I started learning, and I jumped on, played some options, and got absolutely smoked because I didn't quite understand what I was doing. And so I also realized that all the ideas that I had, I was like, okay, well, the market's going to do this because of this. And I realized very quickly that that's not actually how it works. And I was getting I was just making it seem like bad call after bad call after bad call. And I feel like this is the story of most retail traders, that literally like we try to use logic, and that's not how the market actually works. Like, in fact, you almost want to do the opposite of what's logical, because it's going to be, and you have to start learning how to read options charts, and you also have to learn how to basically figure out what's going on, because if you can't see the big picture on these stocks, you're going to get probably burned. So for me, when I was looking at, for example, Aterian, I saw what happened back here, and I said something's off here, and that's when I started taking notes and paying attention. And once we got down to these levels, I was like, okay, so we should not be at these levels. This was like book value, and I'm like, okay, book value is fine. We got pushed under book value, and then we got pushed down even more and pushed down even more, and I'm like, we got down to this, like, I think 210 was actually the lowest. Yeah, I think 210 was over here, right around earnings. Yeah, 210 was the actual lowest, besides the I think 142, the magic 142 for everyone in Discord. So, anyway, we got down, and that was below asset values, because I was shocked when we went below current assets. Like, that just didn't make sense fundamentally to me, and I'm like, something's wrong with this. And that's when I was like, okay, I gotta go and increase my position, and something is off here. And I think I showed people in the DD some of the divergences that I noticed in the charts. And for example, like, if you look up here, your yellow line is ADL, and you've got yellow and you've got purple within that line. And then your white is your on balance, and your green is your money flow. So right here, you see that if you were lining this up, the price starts rising, which is this right here. The price is rising, right? And then it kind of gets shorted down. So they extremely try to push this price down, because this is when they were potentially getting like pressure to get squeezed. Right here, because the float was very small, and retail came in around here-ish. So like, these guys, the initial retail guys, which you can see down here, imagine the green and the white as retail. So these guys basically started pressuring this stock, which didn't have a very big float, and they started buying up this stuff, and then they got a couple good days where they really put pressure on the market makers in these options. And so it got pushed up, and they pushed it back down, and then it started consolidating, and then boom, this is when Reddit kind of got a hold of it, and it kind of took off, and it ran, and then it gapped up, and it pushed up, and then they started just shorting the hell out of it. Because look at this, look at that, the straight drop down, and they really went after the stock. Now here's the thing, look at this. You would think, based off of the price, which is basically represented by the ADL, you would have been like down here, and we would have been back down here. But here's the thing, like, remember, white and green, just think of that as like kind of like, retail money. That money flowed in, and it increased on the second pump. So the second pump of the FTDs and all that stuff, and that's actually around when I started posting DD, was around this area. And I was like, I'm just calling stuff out as I see it. I'm not trying to like, be super involved in this. But I noticed right here, they were just shorting the crap out of it. Like, they were just pushing down the price, and they were having trouble with it, but they eventually got it here. And you saw this dip here, and what you should have seen is these money the money flow and the OBV, you should have seen them come back down, and they would have all matched up together, just like it did back here and all the stuff previously. Like, you would have a couple like rises and falls, but there was not a ton of volume on this stuff, and they were not like going together. So like, you can see right here, this stuff gets pushed up, and it never comes back down. Like, it slumps a little bit in certain spots, and that's as they're bleeding off. But, look at this. They just keep shorting it down. They're pushing down the price. But all of a sudden, here, where we are now, they had this huge, we've had this huge spike in volume, and we've had a huge spike in, like, the ADL, like, which is, the price moving up. And if you notice, like, we're starting to get volume again, and we're starting to really go push into this. And wow, like, these things should run together. But instead, if we zoom out again, sorry. Look at this. Like, it's running up while they are just shorting the hell out of it and trying to get it down. These should be moving at least somewhat together. Like, not perfectly, but like they should at least move somewhat together. And this is why I think retail owns more than they're admitting, which is we should have seen these numbers go up, and then we should have seen them all kind of come down together, and they never did. They just kept up here. The money never flowed out of Aterian. Like, it did slightly. Like, if we look at it, it does kind of slope down, but like it's gone back up now, and it's even at like the highest part. Like, even back here when this money flow was coming in, it's higher now, which means that more money has flowed into the stock and never left it. And that means that retail owns more than what they're indicating to us, which means that they probably have a lot of FTDs that are now just building up, because on this last run, here's March 8th right here. So March 8th was right around earnings call, right? So we have a March 8th earnings call right here. Russia invades. They were trying to push down the stock. Stock got cheap, and retail locked up the float finally. And the float's been locked up since March 8th right here. And since then, look at our volume. Volume's increasing. There's no way they have these shares. We were locked up back here on March 8th, right here on this earnings call. That's when we hit 100% utilization. And they are somehow finding millions of shares and an ability to just magically make shares appear when we've been locked up since earnings call. And earnings call wasn't even that bad. So, like, they're in trouble. And, like, they can say they're not, but whew, they are in trouble. Let's see. I gotta catch up now. Bots, please donate to him. Yeah, please donate to my to my Patreon bots. I'm not a Marine. I'm a Platinum. Yep, that is true. And you get to be a mod because you're Platinum. Where my Marine's at. There's a bunch of us. Can I be a mod? Oh, can Ralph be a mod? Yeah. I usually hang out with Fun Size. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I've seen you a lot, Florida. If you want to be a mod too, I can make you a mod later. Let's see. Can we talk about something other than ATER and conspiracy theories? Maybe I'm reading. I think I get things that you guys don't, even if they get blocked. Okay, so I'm catching up now to where we were before. I see something about ATER. ATER is not AMC. AMC is a cruise ship anchor that's buried very deep. Yeah, I mean, we're heading up on ours. So I'm off work for 5 months. I can be part-time mod for you. Okay. I just need to figure out how many we need in here. And, obviously we only have like 100 people in here, so I don't need like 10 mods for 100 people. But once we get a little bit more, then I'll happily add people that hang around here. Yeah, I should be careful who I mod. So I'm very intelligent. Don't remove me. Okay, let's see. Scotch. All right. We got a bunch of people that want to be mods. That's cool. Let's see. I'm real. Green eyes, generic faces, usually business photos. Yeah, those are all typical, you're going to lose all your money on this. It's backed by DD. Yeah, I mean, I done the homework. I feel like, I'm not perfect, but at the same time, I think I've got a pretty good handle of what's going on here. It's because I've been watching the stock for so long. Ooh. Let's see. If 7 can get tops... the mods are not the mods, but the bots are just nuts. Anon, you should make your own subreddit. I don't know why I would want that. Like, it seems like a lot of work to do. I feel like the Discord's kind of like my own subreddit. Except for it moves really fast sometimes. It's hard to keep up. Yeah, I think the Discord's enough for right now. So people have been screenshotting those people. Can you teach us how to read fundamentals? Yeah, I mean, if someday if I become like full-time YouTuber and there's a slow day in the market, I can happily go over, or maybe I'll just do segments on the weekend. I don't quite know how it's going to work yet. I've already talked about some of the Patreon, the higher level ones. If they want to work with me like one-on-one, I can develop kind of like lesson plans for some people. Some people may be fine and they just are generous and they wanted to help. But if people wanted to have at least one-on-one and just pass ideas, and I can if they have questions for me, we can do it that way too. Wow, the bots are starting to use curse words too now. They're getting angry at me. I don't know if you get to see them, but I'm seeing some of them. I'm being called jackass and some other names. Ooh. All right, let's see. What up, fam? So everyone's loading up. There's no way ATER can go over 7 from the bots. So the bots told us no way it can happen, guys. And they're going to try to push it down on Monday, and it's going to be so good. Because Tuesday and Wednesday are the days. And I don't care if they bring it down to 5 because I'll just be loading the boat. All right. Can you check the pin thread in the... Yeah, there are a lot of questions apparently. So I need to figure out how to do that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't quite... Wait, pin messages. Here we go. Pin messages. Is there another... Oh, threads. Here we go. Anon's live stream. Okay, I got to go back. Let me do this. Ace nicely put together a thread, which I just figured out how that works, so that's good. I will get to those in a second. I just want to catch up to the YouTube stuff. This is funny. Okay, he said he'll sell at 70. Okay, thanks, bot. Let's see. The bots are smart. Yeah, the bots are listening, which is really cool. Anon owes me money. This is amazing. And I am not a bot. I don't know who that is, but it's obviously a bot. This is great. Wow, they really increased, didn't they? Let's see. Anon, what's the most meme stocks hit utilization on the same day? Why is it? My guess would be they usually have probably ETFs and baskets for some of the other meme stocks. That they're all part of like a small cap, or if they're all part of like I know GameStop is part of like was it XRT? Is that the ticker for the ETF? It's like I think it's XRT. Is that? I'll look it up and make sure if I'm saying it right. But I'm pretty sure that it's something like that. It's XRT, I think, and it's the one that has like 800% short or whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's XRT. It's like a... All right. But yeah, I was going to say, they typically are running in some of the same ETFs. So that way, when they short those ETFs, they can do it, they can hit all of the meme stocks at the same time, which is why you usually see AMC and GameStop and some of the other meme stocks running together, especially when they're all getting shorted really heavily. So, let's see. This is great info. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. I was going to say. So one of the bots wants to be a mod. Don't trust Jimmy. You mean all the people with generic, like, professional photos are not really? The bots are asking to be mods now. That's awesome. This is so fun. All right. Oh, yeah, all the bots are wannabe mods now. And this is important. Remember the day we talked about we would go up in waves and pray. They would pray that retail would sell in between. This is exactly what they're trying to do to get people to sell in the waves. Yeah, Danny, this is absolutely right. And this is what I was telling you when we were looking at Webull. I think I was showing you guys that I think I had it down to maybe like the hourly. If you zoom out on this, this is their goal. So they have to cover a lot of shares. They know this, but they think they can trick retail. And retail normally falls for all their tricks because retail typically can't stomach these waterfalls. And that's why I was writing those DDs explaining that, like, if you know your facts, you don't need to worry. Like, they could bring it down and they can slam it all the way down here. And my guess would be the bulls will just buy up right here at like the 60 the 60 moving average. That'd be my guess, because every single time we've touched it, we've gone back up. And that's what they're doing, is they're basically covering, or not even covering, they're just basically like moving up with the 60 right now. And at some point we'll cross over the 200, and it's going to be really, really bullish then, because like that's going to be pretty. So, but yeah, they're trying to get you guys to sell in the waves here. And like for me, I don't fall for it because I've been in the market long enough where I recognize that this is like one of my best friends called me up and he was like, "Hey dude, like what's going on today?" And I'm like, "Dude, stop. Like I told you, it's fine. You have common shares, you're not playing options. Just go with the flow." Like, I will tell you guys this: the safer thing to do. Don't play options if you're not comfortable managing your risk. And I know there are some people who have lost their shirts recently, and I think not financial advice, but I think I tried to tell one of them, like, you need to basically look for the next IV spike and get out of these ones that are expiring. Like we ran up today, but it was not going to hit probably 750, because that would have been like, we would have ran all the way to like 10 or 12 if we ran that high. And the shorts were never going to let that happen. They were going to fight this. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to play options, in the money options are obviously much safer. They actually cause buying pressure. I'm not telling anyone how to invest, but I'm just saying, like, those ones are safer than buying out of the money and close theta options. Yeah, like you can do well with them. That's Wall Street bet style, and that's not how I invest, because it's not a healthy way of doing things, because you can wipe your account doing that, and I don't recommend that for anybody. Even though I am investing in a stock that is not as fundamental as most of the ones I've invested in before, this has gotten to the point where those shorts, they screwed up, and they're not used to other people calling them out on it. And they've won for a long time by just having retail being dumb. And the smarter retail has started to get, they're not winning as often, and they're getting themselves in trouble. And that you can tell that by GameStop, AMC, some of the other stocks. Retail has learned some lessons, and they're evolving, and they're getting smarter, and they're trying to figure things out. And that's dangerous for smart money, because smart money was very reliant on retail staying dumb. So the smarter retail gets, and the more disciplined and the more unemotional you can trade, you're going to end up making more money, because you're not going to get fooled by their normal tricks. So if you know what you're doing, as far as like, if you read the DD, for me, I write the DD, but like, I looked at this stuff and I was like, I see what's going on here, and I'm going to go ahead and call it out, because honestly, I didn't like what they were doing. Like, Aterian employs people. Like, these are hardworking, international and Americans. Their headquarters is in New York, and like, it wasn't quite fair to me that like these shorts were basically going to put them in a death spiral. And what I mean by that is, I will just show you guys over here. So Aterian needed cash, and these guys knew it. And so what they did was, even though we were having some decent days, we had been down here for a long time, and we had just gotten into an uptrend at one point, and they just slammed it back down. This is when they like doubled down their shorts, basically, because they knew that Aterian needed cash. And so what the best thing for them to do was just shove Aterian down, because they knew they were running out of cash, and then they could get Aterian to basically dilute heavily down here. What ended up happening, though, was Aterian was able to get private placement, which was different than just at the money. Because it at least gives you, a long-term buyer, and it's a little bit different. So it's a private placement is better than an ATM. So what ended up happening is these shorts were going for it. They were like, we got to get this thing down. I think they knew that retail was holding on and it was pissing them off. So they needed to get us down to that like 142 level. Like that's what they were looking for. The algo was set to go to the all-time low, see how much retail they could shake. Well, it didn't happen. And then what ended up happening was, retail started buying a little bit more, and you see these little tiny spikes of like, buying pressure, but the float was already locked up. And so what now we have is all of a sudden we just had volume out of nowhere. And this is the most dangerous thing for a short when you have lots and lots of shorts is all of a sudden retail, not just retail, but like somebody noticed. And this was, I can tell you this bar right here was not retail. That was a toot or some sort of like, you don't have that much volume on, like we're in the hourly, right? Yeah. So like that's a 1 hour bar that had 32 million at least volume on a stock that literally the volume for prior days was like 2-3 million, maybe one. At some point there was 1 million volume. So you went from like a $3 million, $2 to $3 million, volume stock to 30 million in like 1 hour bar. Like that's crazy. So, shorts weren't expecting that. They pushed it down and the bulls just pushed it back up. And then they consolidated and pushed it down to a bull flag and then another rip up. And this is how they're going to end up going is because each one of these legs up, and this one they even tried to do a double top. Like they should have probably broken through here, but they had to spend money to push this down because we would have probably ran up again. So I just wanted you to point that out. Like for me, I'd be looking, if we're going to push down on Monday, I'd be looking to buy right around the $5 mark again and then head back up. Like we've been following this 60 right here, like to the T. Like every time it pulls down, boom, the bulls just buy it back up. So if you're looking for entry points, that would be probably the next one I would do. If they're pulling back, I would look where the 60 is and just, buy on it because if they can keep that going, that's kind of what it looks like they're doing. Is the bulls are like, I don't want to spend too much money just going straight up. I'll let them give me prices down here. We pushed it all the way up here. Now we're going to let you short it down, get yourself in an even worse position, and we're going to buy shares here. We'll buy shares here. We'll buy shares up here, and then we'll stop and let retail FOMO in, and then we'll sell off. But they're trying to do it for the least amount of money possible because they're smart money, and that's what they're going to do. They know shorts need to get this thing down. Let them get it down. We'll buy more when it gets down here. So just want to throw that out there. But yeah, people do try to get them to sell in waves. Michael, put your brother as Michael calls. Mod, may I be honest? So it's still these bots are still trying to get me to mod them in YouTube. If someone's controlling the bots get a mod, they mess everything up. Yeah, I'm not going to add any more. I recognize most of those names that we modded earlier, so I think it's fine. Yeah, I offered to help in the PMs. Thanks. Yeah, I think we're okay right now. But if we need more mods, we'll definitely add some of the people that were in the Discord. You banned puts. Yeah, he's a bot. Okay. Love the boat. Bots are learning, so I guess the bots are evolving. They're trying to figure out how to do this. This man fought for your country just because you're losing money. Don't be name calling. I bet $10 of my life savings he beat the shit out of me. Let's see. Did you give price probabilities or possibilities yet? I haven't listened to the whole thing. No. So here's my thing. I don't really have a price target, and I know that sounds weird to a lot of people because a lot of people want a number that they can sell at. I don't have that, and I don't think DFV ever had that either. But he just said up, and that's kind of where I don't think DFV knew that it would get that high. Like, I think he thought it would go high. I don't think he knew it was going to basically spark a revolution like that. And that's kind of what I think, I imagine if you talked to him and you were like, 3 months from now, GameStop's going to be $600 pre-market, he would be like, what? Like, if I ever could catch his ear one day and talk to him, I bet you that he would have been really surprised. I mean, he probably knew that it was going to go high. He didn't know it was going to go that high. Because, I mean, it was crazy when I was watching it. It was, yeah. So, Michael Benti, I was going to say BBAI, or BBIG and ATER are very obviously different. If you're trading the chart, then ATER is the one. I know you guys are looking for the Tide dividend, and I'm a shareholder at 2. I bought some shares down there. Just, it's not a huge position, but I did buy a couple down there just in case. But they do still have a lot of warrants, and there is at least, if you're bullish on the company long term, then stick with your guns. Like, I mean, for me, I stuck with my guns for the most part. I bought more Aterian because I knew what I was looking at, and I knew it was something was going wrong with it that was wrong. And I know BBIG has had tons of things happen, as far as like, but you invest how you want to. I'm not going to try to talk you into one or the other. Or, it sounds like you're already, yeah, maybe you're coming in impartial. I don't know, but I just know that for me, I'm trading Aterian because I really understand it. BBIG, I think there's a couple of things I'm not sure because I need to know how they make money. Like, at least with Aterian, I knew it was pretty straightforward. Like, they're not profitable. Like, it's like the shipping. They would have been profitable last year if the shipping crisis never happened, but the shipping crisis did happen and they were not profitable. So, but at least I know that one. BBIG has more question marks as far as like fundamentally, like where are they going to make money? How is this going to? Is ad revenue? Like, I need to know more about the company, about how they're actually planning on making money. Like, I know they've got like now they're doing the Tide crypto thing, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of mining companies out there now. So like, what separates you from the other ones? Like, I need competitive advantages. I need to figure out why you're so much better than somebody else who's already been doing it and is very successful at it. So just by saying, hey, yeah, I'm going to start up something that's going to do this, doesn't mean you're actually going to be successful. So, let me just check something. Give me 2 seconds. All right, let's see. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's a Tyrian army. It's growing, and I think more and more people who are reading the due diligence are going, yeah, there's something going on here, and that was something that I noticed, and I said, you know what, I know this is, it's asking people to read a lot and kind of like, you got to be able to kind of dig in, but I think I try to do it as, as digestible as possible. And that's, something I learned in the Marines was, I worked with a lot of guys that didn't quite understand certain concepts. So I would try to like, some of the Marines in here know, sometimes you got to break it down Big Bird and Barney style. So that's what I try to do. Yeah. OG ATER, I remember seeing you on stock, which when we were at 2. Yeah. I'm not a bot because my picture is an AMW sandwich. Yes, Keith asks, we are in great shape on ATER. Our chart looks good. Stoked for next week. You skipped a question. I am not a bot. The good news is we closed over 550 today, correct? I missed the start of the stream and anyone answer except for the bots. Yeah, so it wasn't 550 necessarily. Like that one didn't matter as much. It was $5. But the fact that they couldn't even get under 550 for long means that had a lot of support, and it means next week is going to be fireworks, is my guess, because Golden Cross, yeah. There's some pretty special, because we're going to get technical traders soon, because what's going to end up happening is, I know some people don't know this, but like the Golden Cross is, once we cross over the 200, that's when other people take notice and go, oh, this is now a bullish play, and you'll get traders that you didn't expect to get. You get technical traders, you get people that swing trade and do all these different trades. So like 550 max pain was either 4 or 450. Maybe they moved it up to 450 after all those puts were bought. But yeah, it was basically like $4 was max pain, and at one point it was like 3.5. Yeah, like 350 was it? So max pain, yeah, we got that. So that's good. Joke's on you. 554 was max pain. It wasn't. Maybe if you were on oh yeah, okay, I got it. Sorry. It went over my head for a second, but yeah, where we finished today, it was 553, right? I think it was 553. That's why I didn't get your joke. I was like, 554 is max pain. I'm like, that's not a normal. Okay, it was 553 at X. Let's see, Sacred Goat. Cool. I didn't even look at the market today. Yeah, you were working on family's taxes all day. Fun day. Relapse. Sips beer. Yep. I got my scotch here, so. Take a sip of it. What brokerage should I use? So, first of all, I don't know if you're in the U.S. or if you're overseas, so I don't know if I can really answer that. In my opinion, I do not like Robinhood. Robinhood, to me, is epitomizing everything that's wrong in the market. And trust me, these other brokers aren't much better. In fact, I would say pretty much every broker is pretty much a shade ball that's not looking out for your best interest. I always said that if I ever made a whole bunch of money, that I would try to start my own brokerage where it would be fair and honest. And these guys make so much money, and they make money on you. They make money every time you trade. They make money on the bid-ask spread. They make money all sorts of ways. And they make money by making you wipe, because they'll pull out margins on you when you really need them, and they will make sure that you are not, I'll just put it this way. Brokers are not the good guys. And there are some that are, I guess, slightly better, but like, Robinhood shut down the buy side. Like, they told people they could not buy stock because they were in trouble, because they messed up. So, yeah. Did the bots get off? I just saw like a massive drop in the numbers all at once. I saw it go from like 133 to like 122 in like 1 second. Interesting. Let's see. But aren't hedge funds also learning lessons and evolving? Yeah, this is going to be a constant thing back and forth. And I know I'm behind on my messages, but yeah, the hedge funds and retailers are always going to be in this long battle. Yeah, a longtime friend who's an investment banker told me most options end up not finishing right. So just letting you guys know, like, it's not a. I have a parrot bot. This is so cool. Yeah, let's see. Looks like we can't leave the bots. Yep, good job, guys. Yeah, shares you can't go wrong with. Shares will never have theta decay. Shares are much safer. I play options because I know what I'm doing with them for the most part. And, I mess up sometimes too, but for the most part, I can handle options. Let's see. What about the 25-10 warrants? What happens if we reach? It will be a speed bump. And if we're moving that quickly, that fast, they'll get gobbled up, because there's only 5 million of them. And right now we're trading some days 145 million. So like, it will slow us down. I can tell you that. So, and that's going to make some people, maybe they'll take profits at that level. But it depends on momentum, because like, if, for example, if shorts haven't covered by 25 and they're just waiting for those 5 million warrants, that's a lot of profit for retail. Like, going from basically $2 all the way up to 25, like, whew, if that's what they're waiting for, I mean, there's like 290 or 318K at like 15, but like, that's nothing. Like, that's not going to slow down crap. If they're really waiting for the $25 warrants, like, number one, that's going to raise a ton of money for Aterian. So Aterian's book value is going to skyrocket just based off getting that cash up there. You know, in September they're going to have those 320 ones hit, but like it's still only 7 million. So the dilution's already been accounted for in the DD that we've all written and looked at. So all this stuff's already accounted for. But yeah, I mean, they'd have a ton of cash down if they were able to get those, 5 million warrants at, 25, 10. Whew. Hedge funds tried to sell their rocks. Yeah, that is true. That's a good, obviously somebody here is from the super stock community. So, yeah, I was going to say the seller box one was super interesting because it kind of showed you some of the dark underbelly of the market. All right. Don't buy a margin, cash only. Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to not be able to lend out your shares, though I have heard that if you read through your thing, they basically can do whatever they want, but you're not supposed to. All right. Just let me know what you're buying and selling. That's all I need. Well, if I live stream, you guys would probably see it. I mean, can you explain to us again what are lit exchanges? Which ones are lit? Why should we care about lit exchanges when trading options? Okay, so lit exchanges are just basically like the New York Stock Exchange. All these, like, there's different ones that all make up the market. So like you've got multiple different like. Let me see if I can pull up. I don't know if it's going to work in non-market hours. Like I could probably answer this better during market hours because I could pull it up and then like tell you which ones to route through and all that stuff. Let me just see real quick and see if I can pull up one. It may not let me do it though, just because we're not during market hours, so it may not allow me to trade through there and show me all the lit exchanges offhand, but I'm going to try anyway just to see. So you've got the New York ARCA, you've got the NASDAQ, you've got MEMEX, you've got IEX, which is the one that's actually fair, and that's why the other ones don't like them. But like all of them are lit exchanges, and so you're able to actually see your trades on the ticker. The problem with this is your retailer doesn't actually send your orders there because most of your retailers are payment for order flow, which is what Bernie Madoff invented. And what it does is it allows you to quote unquote get free trades. This is like Robinhood's business model, but the problem is your orders go through basically like a citadel, and then they basically match you up with something that negates your buy or your sell, and then your stuff never actually hits the lit exchange. And in fact, Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, had said that 90 to 95% of all retail trades don't actually make it to the lit exchange. The reason why I like options is because options typically go through the lit exchanges. And so when a market maker actually has to hedge, they have to go to the lit exchange and buy these things. They're not doing it. I mean, they can do some stuff to the dark pool, but like for the most part, most of it has to go through the exchange because there's the volume on it so high. So something about, I was trying to type to buy stocks, never naked. Yeah, I mean, I'm a long hold on this good company. Yeah, I mean, people like it. Yeah, today was weird. I thought we were going to keep going, and they held it down. Yeah, they absolutely did. When they were like, that was interesting. Like, you saw, like, we were ripping up, and then they really pushed. They made an effort to push that down, and then each one of these candles they pushed down, and then finally the bulls at the end were like, we're going to finish above 550. But I was expecting also to keep going, and then I saw that big long upper wick get pushed down just like it did on this one. I was like, yeah, they're fighting it. But I think bulls today were fine being just over 5. Like they were like, I'm not going to fight this. I'm not going to try to push it, even though they had a nice little gamma ramp above it. They were like, yeah. So there are long whales on this because you can tell because they keep buying up right along the 60. I'm learning so much here. This is awesome. Yeah, thanks, KBW. Let's see. I have too many dogs around to use the mic. The Superstock mod commented that one of these pics, these bots, posted on Reddit, and that's why you need to stop the DD and laying the plans out in public. Wait, what? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm reading through you. So Nitro was saying that basically they were saying that I shouldn't say, what's going on in the DD, and I should just, keep it quiet. But I, I'm just calling out things as I see them. I am just a retail trader that is writing stuff that I see, and I'm posting it to a site where I get imaginary likes and imaginary, people like it, so I get karma. Like, nothing happens. What do you do with thousands of karma? Nothing. So, I mean, I just post on there, talk about stocks, and that's it. Like, there's nothing special going on with me. I'm not like an industry professional. I'm just a dude that likes stocks. I'm a dad. All right, let's see. I guess we're talking about BBIG for a little bit. The mods are salty because they went on Nile. Did they really? I didn't know they went on Nile. Is that why they got all mad about Aterian? The one day that I think his name was Meme Stock Investor or whatever, like, he started, like, I was like, listen, like, the reason why I think this, and he was like mocking me, and I was like, all right, you want to do this? Like, I'll do some DD on your stock. And so I did some DD, and I found an active ATM, and I'm like, why are you guys trying to, like, oh, I think they were getting paid basically to, like, fill up an ATM. Like, this is something that, like, a lot of people don't realize. So, like, when companies need to, like, fill up an ATM, like, they need cash, right? So they need to do at the money offerings. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll just try to make it look like they're, like, a short target, so that retail FOMO's in, and then they just dilute while the retail's FOMO in. Like, it's kind of silly, and it's one of those things that, like, I'm like, how does retail not know this? But, like, apparently retail didn't really know how to, like, I guess, they just didn't know how that works, and they just fell for it, and they do it all the time. So you're gonna do half ATER, half BBIG. Yeah, there you go. If the shills are so sure that we're heading down, why would they just keep that quiet and allow us to sink? Nah, they're in trouble. Their boss told them to come in here and do that, or maybe it is the boss. Who knows? If you make a subreddit, call it the Aterian Army, we can have AA meetings. Aterian's so aggressive to be a big company. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Let's see. There is actually already a pretty active subreddit. Yeah, there is. I'm actually a mod on that, I think. I know it's too early. It might not be the right question here, but their earnings are, I don't want to speculate. I know their earnings typically for this quarter are usually better than the ones in, like, like winter and fall. But yeah, where's your tax refund? You need some money to exercise. They tried so hard and still closed over 5. Yep, that's what's happening. The traders are going to come flying in. I agree. ATER's going to rip next week. Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of what I see. Like, there was a lot of volume these last couple of days, and whenever you see a lot of volume coming in, you typically see another round of spiking. And that's what happened here, and it's going to keep going. Like, they're just going to keep bull flagging, and eventually it's going to get up into the part where, from what I understand, there was some guy on the Twitter tweeting that, like, he's fine and he'll double down his position. Okay. I don't know why you would tell everyone what you're short at and all that stuff. I mean, that level of arrogance is what got Andrew from Citron in trouble. So, I mean, like, that set Reddit on fire. So, if they want to keep doing that and bring these bots out, just it shows me that they're in trouble, and that just makes me even more bullish. I was the whale that bought 50 shares at close. Thank you, CKG. Yeah, CKG. 564 after hours. Yeah, that's what we closed. Sorry, that's what we closed after hours. So how do we get to the 200 mm? So that one is, I don't know what chart you guys use, but if you just want to pull up, like, if you go to a study on Thinkorswim, you can go to Ed Studies, and you can type in, like, simple moving average, and then You can add it. Like, I don't use this computer to trade usually because this is my home computer and I'm at work most of the time. So we can set it to like your length. You can actually tell it what, if you want denying but if we did like the 200, just put it on here, then hit apply. As you can see, we are coming up, and we actually crossed over it yesterday, and we crossed over it today. And once we cross over and then back test it and then move up, that's very, very bullish. And that's when you'll see technical traders start coming into Aterian as well. And that's even more dangerous for these guys because those guys will bring some serious volume and some serious money. Because, they're trading the chart. They don't care about like Aterian and its past or anything like that. They're going to trade the chart and they're going to send that stock price even higher. All right, let's see. Payment for order flow, and they don't even have a buy button. Yep. Thanks for what you do. Thanks, Atomic Ape. I love Webull, but yeah, it's payment for order flow, and I've got the same thing. But I mean, I like their visual. Like they have a nice visual, which is great for streaming. When you guys want to see the level 2s, they're right there. And it's visual, so you can actually see them. Versus like when I do that stuff on Thinkorswim, it's just a bunch of numbers on the side that are flying through and it doesn't look as nice. Yeah, breakers make you broker. He's already banned 3 bots. That's good. Are we still 100% utilization? Of course we are. They don't have the shares. Come on. 25 is not the top. Yeah, we could go higher. I mean, it will be a speed bump. That's what I can tell you. Is like, I can't give you an exact price. Because like I bet you if like I told you, DFE probably didn't have an exact price. I thought GameStop I was going to sell at 80, and then we flew past 80. I'm like, I'm not selling at 80. And then we flew past 100. Then we flew past like 150. Flew past 200. I'm like, this thing's never going to stop. This is going to be the richest man alive soon. I did not become the richest man alive soon. So, but I was a good ape and I held. My wife's like, you had how much money and you didn't sell? I'm like, yeah, that was pretty dumb of me. Looking back, obviously in hindsight, but I thought it was MOAS, and I underestimated how much money these guys have, especially the big guys. With the Aterian, I don't think they're as big. I mean, there's Citadel, Susquehanna, some of these guys, but what's going to end up happening is this stock is just, because it's so cheap and because I think retail already owns the float at least once, if not more, this starts getting really, really dangerous for them because momentum's on this side, obviously. And sure, they can play with the price like they did on GameStop, and they can start hiding, you can create synthetic shares by pairing basically a call with a put. And then when they go to reset the FTD, they're able to do it and say, no, look, we have like basically the same thing as a share. And they get away with that because the market's not really that well regulated. Cough, cough, SEC. But, do you think it's possible AMC go on for months? Yeah, I mean, like, AMC is... So the problem with AMC, and I'm not knocking it, GameStop at least had paid off its debt. AMC is still in debt. So, like, AMC still needs to pay off that debt. And, they've got to figure out a way. And people are going back to the movies. So that's good. At least their business model's coming back. But, like, they were super, super in debt. Like, they were, like, $3 billion in debt or something like that. And that's not, like, nothing. Like, you need to... That balance sheet looked bad. And honestly, Adam Aaron and that entire executive team should not have taken bonus checks, and they should have basically issued you guys a dividend for saving their butts, because Apes saved AMC. I'll say that till the cows come home. Like, Apes saved AMC completely, and that management team should not have been the ones taking credit and giving themselves bonuses, in my honest opinion. That rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, I have some AMC, but if you screwed up and I know the pandemic, they couldn't help, but like they were in trouble before that. They had made some really bad decisions prior to that, and so just throwing that out there. But yeah, AMC can go on for a long time, and I don't know. I know everyone's hoping for MOAS. I told people a couple like streams ago that, in my opinion, I don't think MOAS happens the way people think it is. I think it's going to happen more like Tesla. The reason I say that is only because, and I'm not trying to spread FUD or anything like that. I'm pragmatic about how I look at things. And what I see is I see two stocks that are in the public eye that they will not allow. They basically become the new Teslas, which is, okay, we've got all these shorts. We have all these naked shorts on this company. We can't afford to actually admit that, because then everyone would be like, oh, the market's corrupt. So what they have to do is now they have to allow these companies to actually become like real companies and get themselves out of debt with all these ATMs. And they'll, AMC's got another probably one to do, it would be my guess. At some point, they'll probably need more cash to pay off some more debt. So, but GameStop is out of debt now, and they've got a couple, like 1 point something billion. I haven't looked at their balance sheet in a while, but I'll go back and brush up on it. But yeah, I was going to say, basically, they're in a little bit better of a spot. But for the most part, they will just allow those companies to become real, legit companies. And they'll go up slowly like Tesla did. And then they'll move fast at some points. But for the most part, they're gonna basically, they're too public. There's too many eyes on those things. And if they admit that they cheated and that there were, naked shorts and there were, that would be very damaging to their system, and they don't want to ever admit that. So I'm just letting you guys know. That's my honest opinion between those ones, that they'll probably do it, in some sort of slower, like Tesla way, where it allows to go. Which broker can I use IEX for and doesn't do payment for order flow? I think they still do payment for order flow no matter what, depending on your broker. But IEX allows you at least to route to the lit exchange. Payment for order flow is different. Payment for order flow means that they get to see your order, and your order eventually does, they match it up with something else, and then they ship it off to a dark pool. But like IEX at least allows you to route through a lit exchange usually. Now, I placed a couple large orders on, I think it was today or yesterday, and on IEX, and I still didn't even see the orders come up, because I used some weird numbers just because I like to see my order come up, and I didn't see it come up. So something's going on. Can they stop us from buying ATER? I mean, I would have told you no prior to January of last year, but if that happens, then we probably have a lawsuit on our hands. IEX is the best exchange. Yeah, I agree. They actually are fair. Or at least way more fair than everyone else. Any insight to the average short position? It can't be at the 250. No, it's higher up. I was going to say, most of these shorts were shorting for a long time. So, 25 is just the warrants. It'll be eaten up in minutes. Yeah, the 5 million shares. They front you with payment for order flow. TD Ameritrade allows things to go through IEX, but you have to enable this in your profile. If we hit $50 a share, I'll vomit. I will also vomit. I will puke and rally. Yeah. I mean, that would be a lot of money. You're great, Anon. No fluff. A nice ASMR voice explaining things. Thank you. Fuck them. Let's see. I like the way you break down DD. Thank you. I appreciate that. Are bots coming through on Reddit too? Oh, maybe. This is awesome. I am a 17-year-old from New Zealand, and I have 8K in ATER. I was buying all the way down, and from $8 and put all my paychecks in, and my friend from school said I was stupid, but now I believe. Yeah, now they believe, don't they? And we're gonna squeeze. I mean, it's looking. This is bullish. This is not like, oh my god. Like prior to that, we were looking real bad, right? If you bought for the last, what did you say you were at? $8. So if you bought from $8, which was here-ish, all the way down, but you gotta love the spring. Like you can tell, like it went down, hit the spring, boom, we went up. It's going to go down, boom, spring, and then we'll probably, if you study Wyckoff, you'll see very much similarities in, some of these. So let's see. What time is it anyway? It's 11:30. Okay. We still have 120 people listen. All right, that's cool. Are you in the Discord? Yeah, if you're in the Discord, join us. If you're not in the Discord, there's a lot of great people in there. I wish I was 17. Yeah, I mean, if you were 17 years old and you're playing stocks right now, I would recommend join the Discord, go slow, learn what you can. There's tons of free knowledge in there. We actually have some books, like free ebooks that one of my buddies had posted something there. Let's see. Yeah, he joined. Good. Okay. I'm probably really far behind, or maybe not that far behind. It looks like it put me down closer. Aterian got CEO. It's Aterian CEO and Elon Musk tagged. Okay, great. I have my EMA set for 12, 26, 60, and 200. Should I change this? No, I mean, you trade however you want. And I got to, some people trade 9, they trade 30, they trade 60, they trade 200. Like, you can trade however you want. There's different strategies out there. And if you really get into TA, they can make you a lot of money if you know what you're doing. So, yeah, if you're making money, then stick with what you're doing. If you're not making money, then maybe change it up and change, what your EMAs you're following. We're at 200% utilization. Well, that's probably actually true. All right. I'm pumping up. I ate the acid, so I'll go ahead and calm down on that. All right, let's see. Pointers are telling people to sell. Yeah, the rules are out the window on this one. Like, when people are like, okay, what's your price target? I'm like, I don't have one. Like, up. My price target is up. At this point, shorts have not covered at all. Like, they haven't even gotten close to covering. Let's pull up the Ortex. Like, I think they shorted even more today. Like, I don't know why that's like... Alright, let's see. Pull up Aterian. Pull up their short. Yeah. They returned, it looks like, 1.8, but they actually borrowed 839K. So they only returned like 200K shares today. Like, they still have like 10 million something to go. Like, yeah. Plenty more upside from here. Webull is showing the float at 56 million. I thought you said 26. There's a difference between float and free float. So, your float is larger than your free float. Free float is when you remove institutions and longs that have, positions that are probably not going to go anywhere, at least in the next, and on your beast. Thank you. Is that Massey or Mason? Thank you. Do you think HYMC will help AMC pay off the debt? So that's an interesting thing. I did some DD on them once. I posted it to AMC, and I just wanted to explain to people that they were doing like an active ATM. So they were raising cash. Adam sold on the run up. Yeah, Adam Aaron did do that. But I was going to say, with HYMC, I think that's an interesting acquisition and partnership they have there. It doesn't quite make sense on paper, but at the same time, they had I kind of understand what they're doing with that. Is they want to diversify, because right now, if their only money is coming in, like, they're trying to strike when the iron's hot, and they're getting money from apes, so they're trying to put it to be in other profitable things. And I think he had buddies on Wall Street, and they're like, well, let's line you up with this company, and But yes, Adam Aaron sold on the run up, and he also authorized an ATM when they were about to squeeze and be able to get 10x what they could have, because the options chains were on fire, and he basically allowed the shorts to escape. So, let's see. The true free float is 26 million. That's correct. Can we get to the Discord before we go to bed? Yeah, let me get to those questions, because I think I'm getting close to the... And you have the best DDs I've seen. Thank you. Something about, what if we don't have the volume next week? Oh, I don't think that's going to be a problem. we're gonna have volume just based off of like the T+2 and T+3. We may have a day that's like lower volume, but it's still gonna go there. You should do bedtime stories. It's the Deer Hunter. I'll read out Deer Hunter for you guys. I also have to keep my voice down a little bit because my kids are upstairs sleeping, and I'm in the basement underneath them. So, mortality is still early. Yeah, I mean, if anyone's wondering, read the DD from today. I address people who are coming in new, and I'll explain why I think it's still going to go higher, and you can either listen or don't. It doesn't really matter to me. I just I write it out there and I present facts, and then hopefully return shares is T+2. Yep. I read that BlackRock invested in Aterian. I think they would be bullish, not shorting like Citadel. BlackRock owns everything. Like, BlackRock owns a little bit of everything. So, I mean, I don't think they're like active investors. They're like they don't have like the biggest position in Aterian. So, yeah, we're just getting started, it looks like. And the options change for next week already looks really good. GME dividend vote rumored to be around 6.2. Yeah, that's good information to know. I like that. Thank you for your time and effort. Okay, I'm gonna I think I'm caught up now. I think I'm all caught up, and now I will go to the questions from the Discord. So, question number 1: the strategy for next week. Well, I mean, I don't personally have strategies as far as like. I watch the charts, and that's what I try to do. And for me, like my price target's up, and I'll have to see what happens, and I may swing things throughout there. Like if I'm able to, like buy some dips and then make some money on some out of the money calls, I'll do that too. But I'll just add more to the long position to put more pressure on, and deepen the money calls, or I'll go ahead and buy or sell puts, which is bullish. And that way, if it runs, then I'll just earn extra premium, buy more shares, or if not, then I'll buy them at whatever strike price I told. So, let's see. How could this go against us? What can be done to prevent it from going the other way? Well, number one, we like. There's no like we. It's like a bunch of retailers. There's also long whales on this, like, and nobody's like talking to each other. Like, so that's like one of those like questions that can get you in trouble. Like, how can it go against us? Like, okay, so how can Aterian go down in price? At this point, it would just be and this is once again speculation, but like they would have to use shares that they don't have, in my opinion, to lower the price, because then they'd also have to get the market maker to like short exempt things at the same exact time, so they can get these really big sell-offs. That's one way, because if you do that, it rattles and shakes the tree. But the nice thing is that I think retail at this point understands the long game, and if that happens, they'll just do what they did today, which is buy the dip. And if you keep buying the dip, then like 3 days later you're going to have issues again, and that's kind of what you'll see is these spikes. Every like 3 or 4 days you'll see a big spike up, and then it'll start getting exponentially faster and harder for them to keep their positions. So there's nothing like you can buy in the money options, and that would put pressure on buying, like, because they have to start hedging those. So like that's pretty much it. If you send your orders and just through like a non-IEX exchange, they're going to end up being sucked up in a dark pool, and they're not going to account for any buy pressure. So if you really wanted to add buy pressure to any stock, not just particularly this one, but any stock, and you're a retail trader, then you would probably have to buy options and execute those options when they're upon delivery. So I know this is not what people want to hear, but I'm just saying, like, those are like your two options on any stock to actually get, as a retail investor right now, when you send your order out, it will just be sucked up. So, I'm getting tired. I haven't slept that well. days, so you have a nice weekend and be able to relax and catch up on the sleep. Probably, I'm having a hard time grasping these concepts with puts and calls in regards to having shorts make their money, but by doing synthetics, borrow the stocks that don't exist. Maybe explain it in more linear fashion. Okay, so a call option, and this is where I don't want to get like too in the weeds, because for some people it's they're going to get confused. Calls can be bullish or calls can be bearish. Puts can be bullish or puts can be bearish. Did I say pull? Yeah, I think I said that right, but I'm also getting tired. So, but what ends up happening is when people say they're creating synthetics, that typically means they're pairing long calls with short puts. And like what it does is it basically creates a share that's with a delta that's so close to 1 that it's basically a share. I think there's like a 0.099 or whatever, but like there's a very tiny like difference between the two. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about with the synthetics there, Crazy, but what I'm saying about the time limits, are you talking about you're talking about market makers maybe? I'm having a time just grasping the concepts between time limits of puts and calls. So each week, and maybe this is, if you're brand new to the market, maybe this is too, over your head, or if maybe that I'm not answering the question right, but typically each week, in Aterian's case at least, you have options chains that expire each week. The SPY does it each week, actually sometimes twice a week, or 3 times a week. But Aterian expires once a week, and it wasn't always this way. We used to just have monthlies, and I think those monthlies were dangerous to them because people would stack all these call options in the same exact month, and then it would, create issues down the line because they would have to hedge all this, shares for each month. So those on a stock that might be squeezed out would get very dangerous very quickly. Let me drink some more scotch. Hold on. Okay, just finished that one. Drink some water. Okay, so how do shorts make money by doing synthetics? Maybe word the question in another way. Crazy Ivan, I don't quite exactly know what you're saying there. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm off now. Great stream. You've educated me. Diamond. Yeah, Diamond Hand. There you go. Thank you. Let's see. I haven't seen any bots in a while. Let's see. End January, sanctions, Chinese junk bonds used as collateral for GME ran to all-time highs. They removed sanctions end of May. Once those sanctions were added back, June all-time highs. Yep. What's up, Jose? They removed the sanctions again June 3rd, and that's when the Chinese junk came back. Yeah, they play a lot of games, and I will say this: some of these guys that's on Super Snog, like, I didn't write a ton of DD on Super Snog because honestly, there are guys out there that knew more about the actual underbelly of the market than I did. You got guys like Dave Lauer and some of the the Autobits, and that they really got in the nuts and bolts of how this corruption kind of works. I was still pretty, I wouldn't say new, but I wasn't studying in accounting how all these things settle up. I know the function, but those guys were diving in deep, and they were so I'm okay, I'm not writing DD with these guys. I can write DD for regular stocks and normal things, but when you start getting into the nuts and bolts of how all these exchanges come together with all their data and they put in like that's not where I'm at. Like maybe someday I'll learn all that stuff, but like at this point right now, I don't even have an interest. And I know how the sausage is made. I don't need to know like how the machine that makes the sausage is made right now. But maybe someday I will learn that stuff, and then it will help me become a better trader. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it will, but you never know. Let's see. Funding tree, step 1, hold. Step 2, profit. Yeah, I like it. Correct. Those sanctions go into effect June 3rd. Dave Lauer's a legend. Yeah, I've actually talked to him a couple times on Twitter. He's been nice enough to answer me when I actually had talked to him about Aterian and I wanted to know about death spiral financing, and he was like, "Yeah, that looks exactly like what's happening with those guys." So, yeah, Dave's a really nice guy, and he's been nice enough to talk to me. So I'm hoping that relationship continues online, and he'll continue to talk to me. Because it's nice having somebody's ear that actually kind of really knows how all this stuff works. And when I've talked to him in the past, he's been very open and accepting. And let's see, the basket theory too. Yeah, I mean it's very possible that there are ETFs that these guys are shorting down. That every once in a while they have to reset them and push the stuff down the road. But yeah, I mean, I think I got it. If you call a short a put or a call, you essentially made a bet on what price it will be in the future. So if the contract runs out, they have to call it. Wait, if it runs out, they have to call it. Okay. Let me see if I can clear this up a little bit better. So when you have a call, calls give you the right, but not the obligation to buy something or sell something at a particular price. So if you think about this, when you buy, for example, if I was buying a 750, say I bought a 750 call for next week, right? I am giving myself the ability, but not the right, or sorry, I'm giving myself the right, but not the obligation to buy those shares at that price. If the share price is not above 750, then there's probably no point of me exercising that, because why would I overpay for a share? For example, then let's just keep it simple. Buying a put, though, is basically giving yourself an obligation to sell something right now. Or if you sell a put, you're giving the obligation to buy at a certain price. That's why selling puts is actually bullish, but buying puts is bearish. Because if you're buying a put, you're selling something on the market right now, almost like a short. If you are, for example, though, and that's why I was saying those out of the or the in the money. Do we have that up still? Here we go. So when these guys came in here and then got these things in the money, they were able to have to make the market maker hedge to basically push down the stock. They were trying to get it down here, but they didn't get it. So they spent like $10 million or plus to basically try to push down the stock today. And they did it by buying in the money, because these basically act as, because they can be exercised like a short would be. So hopefully that answered a little bit of the question. But what is theta? Okay, so theta, for example, is time. So if you think of the Greek symbol theta, that is equivalent to time. So when you're doing the Greeks on like a stock, the theta decay on a weekly option is much greater than the theta decay on a leap. So a leap is a long equity assets purchase or something like that. I think it may not have that right. Let me make sure I have that term right. It's late and I'm getting tired, but leaps for stocks are long. What is it? The definition is the options that have an expiration date greater than 1 year. and it stands for long-term equity anticipation securities. That's what it is, not assets. It's anticipation securities. So what you're doing is basically you're putting your money saying that I think this thing is going to be either worth this or this at this time. And you're giving yourself a lot of theta or time on those leaps. Now, this is different when you have a 0 day to expiration. The theta decay on a 0 day means that literally you're like fighting time every second that goes by, because theta decay as it gets closer to the expiration increases. That's why when your options, sometimes you'll see them all go to like a penny and nobody wants to buy them, is because they're not going to finish in the money. And so these things are worthless essentially. And that's why you see all this like 1 cent, 1 cent, all that stuff. So theta is just time. And theta increases as you get closer to Opex. But there are tons of videos out there that are great on YouTube, and you guys need to read about options. This dude's falling asleep. I'm just trying to help you guys out. Can we talk about the late waterfalls? Yeah, they were just trying to shake retail out. I mean, that's very normal. Like, they needed the price down under $5, and they just couldn't get it. Like, this was as low as they got it, and they pushed back up, and we finished the day over, $5.50. So they went for it, and they shot their shot, and they got smacked by the bulls. The bulls didn't care. They were like, we'll do this again, because bulls don't have. I mean, some of them have call options that are gonna deal with theta decay, but for the most part, it's gonna be. All right, let's see. I would be very surprised if they do another extension. Okay. 12 million just to hold that particular price. Yeah, they spent like over 12 million just to push down the price. I'm in the process of answering some of the Discord questions right now. What do you think the dark pool volume was? I think the last time I saw it was like 70%. It was something really high, which means that they're just pushing all that stuff off exchange, and they didn't want retail's buy orders to even get close to the exchange. Since ATER is on the threshold list, does that mean failure to delivers begin occurring, and how does that affect traders or returns during when it's delayed? So once you go on the reg show threshold, you're supposed to be the clearinghouses are supposed to clear it within, I think, 13 days is the number, and that never actually happens for some reason. Like, ATER was on it for like 30 straight days, and I was told that it's an aggregate process, that basically when I talked to FINRA, they were like, hey, listen, like, you may have like 3 brokers that are in violation, and then like another 3 would come in later and also be in violation. So technically the first 3 could be cleared, but then the second 3 would be still active for their amount of days, and so that's how you can end up with a reg show that goes on longer. But it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, we got cam girls even now. What is going on here? Let's see. Night, everyone. Anon, thanks for being. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a whole bunch of like YouTube channels that you're more than welcome to check out, and maybe someday I'll do some of my own. But for the most part, right now, you guys can look at some of those just for beginner stuff, and Okay, have you answered the? But yeah, I was gonna say, so the reg show threshold just means that it's gonna be, once you're on there, you at least the SEC kind of looks at you at least, and if we're on there for a long time, we're gonna start, putting pressure on there, because like it shouldn't go on past, they're supposed to clear out those trades. If they're in violation, they should follow their rule. All right, I'm gonna get to bed soon. But let me just see. It looks like a major amount of in-the-money calls were rolled to 422. 422. Why would institutions do this, especially if it creates buying pressure? Isn't that what they don't want? So remember, there's two sides. Bev guy. those weren't rolled by shorts. Those were rolled by longs. So the longs rolled their call options over so they can just pick this up next week and do the same exact thing to the shorts and squeeze them. So that's what's going on. I'm trying to understand dark pool abuse more. Please correct me if I'm not understanding anything. Today, 71%. So it was 71. You guys want to know what the off-exchange numbers were? It was 71%. So 71% of the trades happened off-exchange, meaning dark pools, other OTCs, over-the-counter is what they stand for. That means that only 29% of the trades actually affected the stock price. Probably was even less than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, due to that, retail seems very bullish. We can assume that dark pools were used to apply downward pressure on the stock. From what I understand, trades executed in the dark pools have both a buyer and a seller, but they're used to manipulate the price, which is true. Buy larger and buying can be on the large buy pressure. The large buying can be moved and filled through a market maker at the lower end of the dark pool size green candles. One large buy order can be routed and fulfilled by a market maker. Yeah, that's how dark pools work. Basically, they're taking your shares, they've matched them up and pushed them off exchange, and that way you're not ever actually getting affected. How could buy pressure be consumed by the void or left there to die or ever hit the exchange? How can this be stopped? You can't stop dark pools at this point. You need market reform to change half the stuff that's wrong, and I could tell them everything that's wrong, in my opinion at least, but they don't care what I say because I'm just a dumb retail trader. Do those orders get routed on to the dark pool? Do they get a T plus? Yeah, I think they do. I mean, it would be T plus whatever. If they're common shares, you probably get T plus 3. If it's even another one, you would get at least T plus. I'm falling asleep, guys. All right, I gotta get out of here. So let me do this. I just want to make sure I read the. Can buy pressure be consumed by the void and left there to die? No, because eventually the FTDs get too big, and they're just somebody's going to go to them and go, "Yeah, you guys can't do this. You're making the whole market look bad by having all this crap going on." So, yeah. Do I have any thoughts on Hood? That's pretty good there, Toad Lover. I love that. You guys come up with some funny names. But yeah, thanks for asking the questions. Yeah, I'll keep writing, I'll keep writing on Reddit, and I'll keep doing this stuff. I do actually have a Patreon if anyone wants me to start streaming full time. My wife told me that we could essentially, if I was fine with it, and if I could replace the money as long as we're not losing money, that she would be fine with me doing that. So if anyone's interested in it, you're more than welcome. No one's obligated. Obviously, it's a Patreon, so I don't want to charge for the Discord at this point. I really don't. I want to leave it free so people can just go in there and get market education. That's always been my goal. But if people wanted to donate to me, that'd be nice too. But you don't have to at all. But if you feel like you're learning, you would like me to stream someday full time, that's what I need to be able to go there. So I'll go ahead and share it with you guys, and then here we go. I'll link it up. I'll answer the last couple questions that are trickling through. What happens to leaps in case of the GME stock split? You'll just double. So whatever the stock split is, you'll just end up with that number times the, if you have, for example, call options, they are 100. So you have 100 shares, and you will then times that by whatever the stock split is. So if it's a 20-to-1 stock split, you're 100 shares times 20. So now all of a sudden you have, what is that, 2,000 or 20,000? I don't even know anymore. I'm so tired. But yeah, you'll end up with that. So that's how those stock splits work. And that also happens for the shorts. And that's why actually it was a smart idea for GME to do it. I think they did it too late, to be honest with you, because the momentum's not there as much anymore. And maybe that they were told they couldn't do that. But if they were smart and really wanted to put pressure, they could have issued a stock split and made the the shorts take on 20x their position, but retail could start buying again because it's affordable then. So here you go. There is the Patreon. And if you're not part of the Discord's great. You got a lot of smart people in there. It's always, people are like, it's yours. It's not my Discord. It's all of our Discord. That's the way I've always kind of viewed it. It's for the people. Like, I wanted people to, learn and, find friends in there and just create a community. And, we try not to, we try to let people talk things out and do that stuff, but I'll link that here in the, at the very end of the video is my Patreon and also my Discord, right? My Discord, it's not my Discord. It's our Discord. Okay. So, it says smart people are shit posting, as he says. Great. We've got plenty of smart people in there. We have people who can post rockets, and we've got people who can really wrinkle up and do that. So hopefully we'll be doing another live stream over the weekend with DZ Moneyman from the Discord. If anyone has seen his post on Reddit and seen his stuff inside of the Discord, I actually personally wrote him and I was like, I would really like you to join our Discord. I think I read his stuff and I was like, you know what you're doing. Like, you're a smart guy. I'd love to have you in here. And honestly, he's been great since he's been in. He's been helping a lot of people. So, so shout out to DZ. And hopefully we'll be able to get him live streaming with me. And we'll kind of go over some stuff with Aterian. And maybe we'll do some homework together and kind of see what we see for next week. So, but yeah, that'd be good. And I'm just, glad everyone came out. Thank you so much for coming. And I guess, how do we do on likes? Did we do good on likes? I didn't do luck. What's going on with the YouTube channel? We ended up with 120 likes, and there was like 88 people. So, all right, good night, guys. If you can subscribe, that'd be great. I was told that subscribing is the way to go because I don't get even monetized by YouTube until I get 1,000. So, thanks so much, guys, and have a great evening.